Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, so Goldie here, it is acting quite strange, huh? It's very volatile here. It's been very volatile in this general region. This whole general region here. So we just got the London session open up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for a trending move. I'm kind of changing my approach towards the London session, chat. Like, I've realized that these London sessions, they're behaving very different from the other sessions. You know, they're like, I think the safest thing to do with London is stick with a daily trend, because what I've noticed with the London, it's just kind of like consolidating price, waiting for the pre-New York and New York session to trend, to continue with the trending volume. So I'm only going to be trading London in line with a daily trend from now on, chat. Like, I'm tired, man. I'm tired of these London session consolidations. You see, like, low volume time as a pre-London is just wrapping up here. London session's already starting to break into some kind of consolidations. So I'm going to be patient and I'm going to wait for the daily trend moves. Like, if we're not trending, I'm not trading for London. Simple. But, you know, previous daily candlestick moved up here. I think this was mainly due to the allegations against Powell. So yeah, thanks for sending me that article yesterday, Luke. That was on Forex Factory. We got some updates there about Powell. He is being accused of spending, what is it, like an additional $600 million on renovations and denying certain things like that he added. You know, like he lied under oath, basically. Like, he was not completely transparent where all the money was going for all these renovations, and he increased by $600 million, you know, and that's what made price move bullish here, because we're anticipating, people are preying on Powell's downfall. People are preying on Powell's downfall. And, you know, if Powell gets out of office, then obviously Trump is going to put someone in there who is supporting his idea for rate cuts. And, you know, if the rates get cut, and we mean that, that means that gold should move up. So, you know, this was like anticipation. This was anticipation, but nothing here is guaranteed yet. So, you know, the market is still waiting. Nothing has been guaranteed yet. So the market is having a technical correction. But we did have that exuberance from yesterday, which is quite interesting, because if you think about the way the market sometimes ahead of reality, it's like, you know, we were ranging here. Look at this. We were ranging here. It's like the market knew something was going to come out that was going to push it up. You know, this is where I took my buy yesterday. This is a buy on our shotgun entry. Stop loss just, you know, below this candlestick here. And man, just look at the way price reacted here. This thing ran up for, I think, what is this? Like a 1-2-21. Just insane. Just insane. But look at this. If you caught the one down here, man, this would have been so much nicer. The swing entry from all the way down over there. Yeah, it's like, this is what I mean. It's like the London session here. It's like undirectional. And then the moves are coming like pre-London, pre-New York, New York session time. That's been a recurring thing for quite long. I wish I caught onto it earlier. I caught onto this. I'm usually pretty good at catching onto these things. Like, normally when I see bleeding on my account, I will be able to quickly catch onto why the account might be bleeding in certain areas and then fix that. But I think because I'm already up in July so much, like 32%, it kind of flew over my head. Because it was not a strategy thing, it was a timing thing. I think that was the difference. It was a timing thing, you know, just to, if you're going to trade London, just stick with the daily trend. At least, so right now it's like, we're not yet trending, we're like 0.33%. We're 0.33%. So right now, I think what I would want to see price do, I would want to see price maybe, you know, move down. We're closer to trending if we keep moving down. We have these technical corrections to the downside. First day in 2 months. I don't have a trade by this time. 3 hours on the charts. Very well done. For patience and not rushing into anything. No easy or clear movement for me. I had one impulse entry from my setup, but I need one more confluence. Played well, but I didn't take that one. I don't even consider losing a movement today. Yes. It's not entirely clear right now. It is not entirely clear. Hey, what's up, trading? Good morning. All guy in his position are like that. A poor country like Portugal struggling with problem, education, health, etc. The guy that is in the Fed in Portugal is going to spend 234 million in a new office for the Bank of Portugal. They are all made the same stuff. Shit. I know, right? Like Powell's what did he add? Like a rooftop restaurant and some other stuff like that. Some other luxuries over there. Yeah, they're all like that. They're all like that. They will spend absurd amount of money on certain things. And you know what another thing is they like to do? They like to spend lots of money on like charities or religious activities, you know, because the church doesn't get taxed. So, and they also don't disclose the church. It doesn't need to disclose certain information, you know. So then they kind of use that as a loophole and then pretend like they're so religious or so given to charities, you know. Charities are a nice way to avoid certain things like this. But yeah, Pat, I didn't expect Powell. I didn't expect Powell to splurge. He doesn't look like a splurger to me. Kind of looked like a decent, you know, humble guy. Oh well. Guess it is what it is. What can you do? How do I read that article? You can read it on Forex Factory. I think it should be on Forex Factory somewhere around here. Let's see. All right, let's see. So, news hottest stories. Trump firing Powell risks higher inflation. 7 hours ago. This was published like a little bit later. Let's see. Trump firing Powell. Political interference in the Federal Reserve policy tends to push inflation higher and weaken risk assets according to the study. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, nothing too interesting there. Let me try and go on my Instagram and see if I can find that link. Okay, so it was directed me to a Twitter, and then on Twitter I went to Forex Factory. So Fetcher Jerome Powell hit with criminal referral by House GOP Trump ally. So I could send you the link over here. Send you guys the link. Let's see, where's the chat? Where's the chat? Where's the chat? Yeah, so this is a Walter Bloomberg. Man, I've been following this guy for the longest. Walter Bloomberg. Live Squawk. This is a thing I almost paid for. I almost paid for this thing because, you know, I thought like, you know, when I was getting into news and fundamentals, I was like, man, it would be nice to have a live squawk. Like just to have that little radio on and then be able to get that like audible. When there's any news that it's going to be like immediate. You know, you're going to get it fast. You could also get it fast on Twitter. You could probably get it a little faster on live squawk. Almost paid for this thing. I think it's pretty cool though. But yeah, you can read about this. Click on show more. And then it's like written over here. So Luna alleges Powell falsely downplayed the project's 600 million cost increase and denied luxury features like a VIP dining room and a rooftop garden. Powell denies the claims and has launched a probe into the renovation costs. Perjury carries up to 5 years in prison. Trump allies have pushed for Powell's removal, but Trump has said it is highly unlikely. Yes, that's true. Highly unlikely. So it's like speculation now. It's creating a lot of exuberance in the market for gold to move up, but it's like, you know, still a speculation. He would fire him. Highly unlikely he would fire him before his term ends in 2026. So yeah, I think, you know, we're still going to hold the rates here at the end of the month. But, you know, at the same time, Powell is due to speak today. Powell, I believe he's due to speak today. So the markets could be waiting for this guy. We could be waiting for this guy, man. And I don't trust the way gold is. You see how gold is hovering right below 0.40%? This thing is not trending. This thing could easily reflip at any moment, and we're going to see like a doji daily candlestick. So that's why I'm very cautious about this area that gold is sitting in right now. How do you know when to use the plays like the shotgun swing 1 minute play? I just choose whatever looks good. You know, if it looks good to me, then I'm just going to go with that. If a consolidation looks good or it makes sense, then I'm going to go with that. Like for yesterday, I saw like price was moving with like some kind of momentum, and we've been ranging, for example, the whole of London session. So it made sense. Like there's going to be a move. It had to play out. Like the market has to pay people eventually, because, you know, a lot of people, they get stuck in these areas here where it's like they overtrade. Remember, like these 10% moves, they don't always happen. Most of the time the market's just ranging like this. So if we range for the whole of London session, it's like it's all about like what's the probability then this becomes an actual move. It like increases. We had one move during pre-London. It was a move up, and then we consolidated, and then look at this tiny ass move right here. And then there were some smaller moves there on the 1 minute time frames, but there was really nothing for the most part. The last actual move was, you know, when you zoom backwards, you gotta see it better. The last actual move was pre-London, and then the second probability for a move, pre-New York. If London was complete consolidating. It's also like it's like a consolidation breakout here as well. So we had a few things line up too. So I was like, you know, let me just take this off. You could even look at it as a consolidation if you want. I guess you could do this and see on the 1 minute time frame that price is moving sideways here. So you could even just consider like a consolidation break and then stop loss here. But I think for me, it just made more sense on the 5. It looked like still much cleaner here. Or a shotgun. It's basically a shotgun, you know. Little accumulation and then breakout. So sometimes they both also just line up like that. Which is quite nice. But for example, like right here, this would be more of like I think this would be a consolidation breakout. I'd be more willing to do a consolidation breakout here if price was clear. You know, it's not clear right now. It's not. Look at the way it's chopping up. It's like very volatile. This whole range is like super volatile. Also here, it's kind of hard to do the swing because the swing stop would be all the way down here. And the range would not be enough for a swing. So only thing that made sense, shotgun or consolidation. Nice little SMA confluences there as well. But yeah, that's the news, chat. That's the news for the day. This is such a nice show. What was this show called again? The 80s show. Yeah, the 80s show. Such a good show here. Oh, Uncle Powell, Uncle Powell. Why must you do these things? Goodbye. Let's read the comments here. Goodbye. Now Trump can finish the USD. Yeah, this guy said it perfectly. Trump can now finish the dollar here. Because, you know, if he cuts his rates, that dollar is going to go down. It's already on its way downwards. So I don't really know what Trump's game is. It would be good if he was a little bit more transparent and say, hey, you know, we're going to reduce the dollar here. We're going to make it weaker so we can get more investors from outside to come and invest in America, you know, just the way Japan do it. You know, but he doesn't say anything like that. I think he refrains from saying things which make the US sound weak. But he's probably trying to game something like this. Because the dollar will go down. Let's be honest. If we really started investigating for lying 100% of lying 100% of American politicians would be inside a cell the first day. Let's not play the rules for thee and not for me bullcrap. Yeah, politics is a dirty game. See how they went for Trump? And they went for Trump hard. Try to put this guy in jail. They try to kill this guy. Just imagine the amount of money making by one who is behind all these news. Market is so manipulated nowadays. Any news can come at any time. It was a beautiful and quiet before Trump. Yeah, that's what people think. Hey, where'd you get this pic? I've been seeing this pic around here. This Keanu Reeves. I've been seeing this pic around for quite a lot. But it's like fake, right? They just put bling on these guys. Give him like a nice little watch over here, some grills, pinky ring. It looks pretty dope. Looks like he's got tinfoil in his mouth. You know when you're a kid and you put tinfoil in your mouth? Looks like this. Yeah, so I would say just be cautious. Just be cautious. Because markets are really anticipating something. But it's nice to see our analysis come to fruition here. So we were always anticipating a break above. So this was our analysis here. If you guys go ahead and watch even the last simulation that we did, I was expecting price to continue moving up here. So I think, it makes sense. It's still in line with what I'm expecting, price to potentially head up towards like 3,500 there. Keanu Reeves. Gold looks like it's about to pop. I don't trust this range. On the left hand side, that's a higher time frame range. This is a technical correction though. Gold is currently a technical correction. So what I'm going to do is, if price continues to move down, it needs to prove to me that it wants to continue to move down. And then I'll consider taking a sell. But it wouldn't be a swing entry. It would most likely be a consolidation break. We could get a nice one. But it needs to prove to me first that it wants to continue pushing down here for the London session. Got like quite some nice room over here. Hey, Ellie, thank you for the membership, man. Ellie has become a member. Gold looks like it's about to pop. Read that already. Let's see. Need to get out from this zone. Price really needs to move from this area here. Where's my Streamlabs? Barcoding? Yeah, heavy barcodes. Heavy barcodes. Vic, I'm in Malotka at the moment, watching you on my balcony. Oh, nice. You're on vacation. Enjoy. Hey, what's up, Noni? What's up, Brian? Architect, what's good? What's up, Titus? Luke in the chat. We got Ricardo in here. Architect Trading. Got Josh in the chat. Pure Peak. What's up, Mr. Rashid? Alright, good morning, guys. Good morning, Jay. Finest Trader, Josh. Expert Pius. That's an interesting name. Tall Trader. Morning, Jay. So yeah, I'm gonna wait for price to get away from this zone. Right now, this whole zone, this is like a 50-50. You know, this 50-50. We got resistance here, we got support over here. So now this becomes like a no trade zone. No trade zone. See what the Owly is doing? Owly is pushing. We got previous Owly closed. Oof. That's like, this is the worst thing. I don't like seeing this. I mean, you could still move down, but for me, every time volume dies like this, you see how it broke below support, and look how this candlesticks are like slowing down. Yeah, it gets a bit sketchy. Price is gonna pop. It's gonna pop somewhere. It hasn't yet picked its direction. That's a massive 4-hour candle correction though. This candlestick here is like 328 pips on the 4-hour time frame. So we're approaching that SMA right there. Sheesh, man. The London session is like, you know, when you play these hard games and you get to this one boss that you have to just keep fighting over and over and over again till you eventually beat it. That feels like the London right now. It's like you get stuck on this boss for such a long time till you figure out how to actually beat it. For me, it's going down, but I wouldn't put my money on that. 60-40, just that 4-hour SMA. Yeah, exactly. That 4-hour SMA right there. Catching up towards it. Other SMAs are in the favor, though. Ooh, look at this thing. This thing could just, like, pop. It's about to pop somewhere. It's about to do something real aggressive. Whenever gold is like this, whenever you see gold like this, and this type of volatility and this type of reactions, man, it is going for blood. It is going for blood. The market can do it in a way that people are gonna have a higher probability to lose. So you have to be very cautious and wait for confluence. Like if you want price to move down, I would say like the best thing is if you get like some kind of liquidity grab, like a fat liquidity grab, break some kind of key structure, and then price to start breaking below these lows, like a proper break. That's what I would say. For buys, I think for buys, this thing will just need to move from this general zone and then head towards that a daily, hopefully like daily flip. But to be honest with you, chat, like if it doesn't move down, then I don't think I'm going to find a trade here, because what's the probability that price actually comes all the way up here, like 121 pips, and then continue to push up? Of late, London has been messy. Yeah, that's why I say I'm even looking for trending moves now, because London's just consolidating for some reason. Every time it opens, it just breaks into these consolidations. So if market's not trending, I'm not taking it, because that volume is going to come in later on. Because you know what's been happening is that Asia and pre-London have been moving a lot. When the Asia and pre-London, they move a lot, then London is going to move sideways. There's a better probability London moves sideways. Just like yesterday, you see Asia and pre-London move up, London moves sideways. But it is, gold is, it's quite an interesting price action here today though. It feels a bit awkward. That's how I would classify price action today. It feels really awkward. But you know, hopefully like, oh, now it's popping. All right, nice. So, you know, if it moves down, look at this. Oh, if it moves down, at least I can maybe try catch a continuation somewhere around here. I just want to get it, move out from that area. Then I'll try catch a continuation. Then, you know, maybe we can correct that 4-hour range on the left-hand side. And, you know, today could be a bearish day. Because the only reason price moved up yesterday was because of, obviously, we already covered what happened. Gold prices edged down to around 33.80 on Tuesday, but remained close to a 5-week high. Attention is now on EU-US trade negotiations this week as they seek to clinch a trade deal before the deadline, when Trump has threatened his most of the bloc exports to 30% tariffs. Investors now await comments from Federal Chair Powell and Governor Bowman later in the day, seeking clearer guidance on the central bank's policy stance. Yes. Man, I wish it was yesterday. Bailey speaking, Powell speaking. Powell speaking like 30 minutes into the New York time. So, you know, New York session, traders are going to be listening to Powell. Let me listen to Powell. See what new information he has. Only news will make that move up happen on the daily, but under Trump, all is possible. Yeah, I think only like maybe the New York session could, as we're heading to NY, maybe we could make it back up there with Powell speaking later. So right now, I think what most people are anticipating is sort of like a correction. It's starting to slowly break out of the consolidation here. See, actually see how big that stop would be. Pretty decent, like 9.7. It's sipping out of this area now. See, like sipping out. It's sipping out of that area. Just did like a 1-to-1 on the push. That's the thing that I don't like, is how this candle just keeps, the candles just keep going up and down like this. Kind of sketchy. As I usually don't take shorts, I don't expect it to work. You gotta plan both biases in general, though. I mean, anyway, but if you like buying gold mostly, then you know that's good. Could have gotten really nice buys yesterday and the day before. Sheesh. There's just so much volume. Look at so much volume here. This is like Trump speaking. That move there. Got some pushes here again in the New York session. Sheesh, so much volume. I feel like the news right now and everything is really driving markets. We're getting a little bit more action, or rather, let me say, we're getting a bit more action than we used to get. Before, it's like a lot of waiting, correct? Like we're stuck in this daily range. There's like a lot of waiting, a lot of anticipation, like in this whole general region. But now it's like starting to pick up a bit more. You can even see with the candlesticks. You see what I mean? Like the fundamentals move the markets. You see how the fundamentals are starting to pick up. We're starting to get more stimulation in the fundamental space. And now like prices also starting to move up. So it's pretty nice. Let's see what's going on here. BTC is pushing hard now, going to try catch the knife. Let's see what this gold spot sells. Not sure why you took this trade. But yeah, pretty nice. Made it work. Trading with the daily trend. Not super strong, but you know, daily is moving down. Daily was moving down. See pips catching. Nice. So we got a break above. Candlestick close above resistance. That's US dollar, Canadian dollar. Nice little shotgun entry. So like maybe a swing entry of sorts. Or shotgun. Shotgun with a bigger stop. For price to move up. And you got like a push up and then nice. Let's try again. Try to catch the whole move. Yeah, sometimes market can be quite annoying. It's like this whole move you're trying to catch, you know, it could push up again and then do this. Then it'll be like, let's try again. Push up again and then do this. Back into the entries. 40k trade in one day. Let's freaking go. See, first trade of the day, buy on BTC. The idea is price to come test the 4-hour. Massive rejection wick here. 4-hour rejection. Nice little liquidity grab confluence on this. Very clean. All right, so we got break below support. Boom. That's 5 minute. 5 minute consolidation. It's like a small little distribution from consolidation. Sell on gold. The idea is price create accumulation on the 5 minute time frame. The 5 minute time frame price take a liquidity grab above the new 5 minute resistance and broke. 5 minute support. I assume gold wants to break accumulation to the downside. Nice, nice, nice. I'm gonna put W-I-N. Winning. Close as it 50 SMA touch happy. I did still would have been. Let's see what happened here. Oh, what is this? This is today. Got a little bit of a head and shoulders here. But yeah, you did have room for price to move up. Looks like I did push quite a bit and then came down because the daily was, I guess, planning on moving down anyway. Clean range for the upside, no SMA confluence. Nice. What's going on here with gold? Oh! Holy! This is what I mean. This is what I mean. Like, I just don't trust gold right now. I just don't trust gold. It's just not looking good. There's a whip over here. The thing is, I do want to see it move down though. If it would move down, then I could probably get an entry there. Yeah, now it's just coming back into the range. Got a small little whip here. GJ still hovering below our psychological mark at 200. Change up the coordinates. Yeah, so we need to break above 200 here. If we can break above 200, then, you know, price can continue moving up. But that's what GJ is waiting for. Maybe we're going to get the break during next week. Or it's still early. It's only Tuesday. Yeah, but daily is massively accumulating here. Just getting ready for a pop-up. Let's see if gold can prove to us that it wants to move down. Maybe we see some structure for something soon. And now that looks like some kind of manipulation here. Accumulation, V-shaped reversal, back into the range. No, we still haven't yet gotten the distribution. Hasn't yet picked the direction. I wonder if anyone has even taken a trade of the price yet. Like this first hourly candle when I usually wake up has been having really nice moves. Just like I'm just not waking up that early for this session anymore. But I've just been noticing like really nice moves. The inception, you know, whenever I wake up, that's typically the inception of the pre-London pushes. That should be the inception. Because you see, like when you're picking a session to trade, you have to see like how price moves during that time. You know, when is it most likely to be having the bigger moves? And you know, if you can trade during that time, then I think that's awesome. Then you can have a better chance at catching the bigger move. So we got one here. I want the sells, but I think it will be buys that play out. Yeah, like a possible daily reflip of sorts. That could happen. Yeah, we got a London fakie over here. Where is it even at? Let's see, the psychological mark we're trading at is 33.84. No, I don't think that's too important there. What did we peak at yesterday? Oh, 3,400. Wow, 3,400. Look at this. So that seems to be been the target for price. You know, if you think about it, like price moving up here from taking buys from 33.68, the next psychological mark you have there, even number, is like 3,400. And just as it got to 3,400, you see, that's what I mean. Like when the market is targeting a psychological mark, my price will just go to that area, you know, and nothing stands in its way. And look at how it just came all the way up here, 3,400, and then it started having resistance here. And then it tumbled. So it could still be a target for today though. I still believe that the market has set its eyes here on 3,400. Right up here. So right now it's down over here and it's thinking maybe I can go up over here. It's already had like pretty much a daily bottom wick that's been formed. Then it rips up. The thing is, like, these ranges are really big ranges. You know, when the range is massive and widely spread out like this, I feel like most of the time it's more difficult for price to correct it properly. The bigger the ranges. And then maybe if it even comes down, it will do it in a way where it's like trickling. It trickles, it trickles, it trickles. Especially if you're taking off a lower time frame, like the 5-minute time frame. So I don't trust those ranges. Usually the best ranges are these kind of like small inconspicuous ones, you know? Like right in the valley right here, a little V shape. A little V shape like this. Those are really nice ones. Yeah, stuff like this, you know, ranges like this. Those are much nicer. These other ones are so big. They're so huge that everybody is looking at them. So you're taking a buy here. Taking a buy break of the previous highs. It's on the 5 minute. Okay, you're taking a buy break of the previous highs. Yeah, but to keep in mind, I guess, that you're still inside a range, you know? You're still like this no trade zone area. It hasn't really broken much structure unless you're just anticipating. So I guess the reason for your buy here is you're anticipating this is going to be a fake out. So you're thinking to yourself that this has been the sellers have paid the price to show you the direction, potentially to move upwards. But structurally speaking, you're like inside of a range. So yeah, I think that's the problem with that move. So you have to be very careful when it comes to that. But for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for price to continue to push down. And then we're going to get a potential sell, hopefully. Because, you know, like what you're expecting is a potential fake out. Could be even a fake out above the highs here. So you could have this also become a fake out. You know, so now you got a 50-50 probability between this being the actual one and then that one being the actual one. And that one at least is going with the daily trend, you know, down 0.34%. Yeah, I'm going to sit on my hands. Nothing today. Guess I go for a walk the dogs. You've been waiting for quite some time, yes. That's why I think like the best thing to do is give yourself like 2 hours. You know, give yourself like 2 hours on the chart or whatever time that you want to lock in. Lock in for maybe 2-3 hours, however much time that you have, and that way you don't have to worry about missing the move. But if you don't have a time, obviously you're going to be on the chart like indefinitely, and then you become a slave to the market. If you don't have a set time that you need to be looking at charts, you become a slave to the market. So for me, I know from this period, from that London Open into pre-New York, I can be very patient, you know? Very patient. Like even when I end the stream, I still don't worry about missing the move. I'm going to go get something to eat, you know, maybe just rest for a few minutes or something. And then I'll come and slowly start looking at the market again. Because you've already given the market a chance. You've already been on the chart for, let's say, like 3 hours. So there's no point worrying for the whole day whether you're going to miss the move. Yeah, long taken out BE2 for me. See, flipping this again, but if it doesn't start now, that's it for the day. I really want to see it come down though. See how the 4 hour here is looking. Oh, 4 hours caught up. We got the 4 hour candlestick has finally caught up to this as well. Kind of giving it like a kiss of death over here. That's the thing, you gotta be cautious. Remember, drink more water. Hydrate, hydrate. Hey, what's up, Sandile? Sandile Chesney. Whatever happened to that guy? You still trade? Wouldn't it be cool if Jason Noah and Sandile Chesney live streamed? That would be cool. Gold is whiplashing at the moment. Never, what's that? Never nice to see. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good, especially when Powell is due to speak, you know? Powell is due to speak today. So when gold consolidates like this, you got to be very cautious. Because it's waiting for volume to come out in a... later on. Your guy is in some trouble with the law. Yeah, I think that's the last time I heard of him. Break of resistance. Could be like a little shotgun play to move up. But it's still a counter trend. 35 pip stop loss. Man, but it's like the thing is like price really needs to get through these wicks here. You got a few wicks in this area. Price needs to start moving up from this zone. That bullish bounce happened at exactly market open price for yesterday. Huh? What do you mean? This bullish bounce where? That bullish bounce happened at exactly market open price for yesterday? Are you sure about this? This bounce right here, market open was all the way down by 33.44. This is bullish bounce by 33.83. I don't know what you mean. Got some nice little SMAs. The 30-minute trading underneath the 30 SMAs. Still facing some sort of resistance up there. Reversal time. Yeah, I don't mind taking sells, but we need to get through this zone. No trade zone. Create a support here by 33.83. And now we got resistance. Dun, 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 dun. Now we just gotta wait. What is this? Waiting. TBs June 24th and June 25th. I have canceled the XRP trade. Yeah, you got price break above resistance right here. That's the only thing that I'm seeing, structurally speaking, is just that. Is that pretty nice head and shoulders? There's a lot of options for fake outs here. Got one fakey here, you got one here. Long wick back into the range. Problem with this structure is like if you take a sell, it buys. If you take a buy, it sells. Also did not re-break the highs properly. Came really close to re-breaking them. By like 0.1 pip. Bay or sale. Yeah, this is a moment here now. The market is really gonna test you. It's really gonna test. Like if you want to trade, you know, here's the thing. If you really want to trade, you're going to see a trade. The market is gonna show you a trade. It's gonna show you either like whatever it is that you use. You know, you could have a trend line here. You could have I don't know, POC or something like that. If you want, the market's gonna show it to you. But you know, deep down inside, that gut feeling is telling you that this is not a good place to be getting in. So you gotta listen to that gut feeling. You know, most of the time that gut feeling, I've come to realize it's actually quite accurate. You know, I take these trades where it's like, man, I know this is going to be a risky trade, and it ends up being a risky trade. And you take these other trades where it's like, you know, they feel a bit better and safer, and you don't even mind losing those trades. You feel so confident about those, and those usually are better trades. So like you feel forced to trade. But trading, you don't get paid by the hour in trading, correct? You get paid by waiting. It's not like 9 to 5. You know, 9 to 5 mentality doesn't work in trading. And everybody who comes to trading for the first time, we all come with that 9 to 5 mentality, you know. Everybody starts there. Like the more I learn, maybe the more money I'm gonna make. You know, more trades I take, maybe the more money I'm gonna make. But actually, it's the more money you're gonna lose, and the more time you're gonna waste. Because if you think about it, look at this. You know, that's why I always say 10% of the time, maybe the market has like a really big obvious move. Like a big obvious move like here and here. Then you got to sit on your hands. It's a device for transferring money from the patient. I mean, from the impatient to the patient. So the impatients are going to sit somewhere around here. Most of the time, they're going to overtrade somewhere around here. And the patient ones, they just have their trades. And, you know, sometimes even the patient ones take losing trades. You know, sometimes we get stuck in here as well. But the difference is the patient ones don't revenge trade. So if they take a loss here, they say, okay, you know what? Let me try to remain patient again. Try and see if I can get into these tick boxes over here. So, you know what happens. You're going to take maybe a loss here. But if you can give yourself some time, then you get a better probability of having winning trade later. So if you think about it, like, you know, 1 or 2 trades a day is actually pretty nice. If you look at the market, you know, 1 or 2 trades, you got 1 trade here, 2nd trade here, maximum like 3 trades, you know, maximum like 3 trades. Maybe one of them is a loss here, but, you know, the 3rd one can be a winning trade. So I think that range works the best for day traders. 1 to 3 trades. If you're just trying to come at it from this perspective, you know, this zoomed out perspective. Because, yeah, you can always argue with me and say, oh, what about the sell here? There's a sell set up here as well. You know, you could have probably taken a buy here from that consolidation breakup, made some money. Yeah, you could have. You could have done all that. But that's going to lead to overtrading, you know. So we could take like a zoomed out approach. We can see the market for what it is and how it actually moves. You know, 90% of the time, I'd say, it's just moving garbage. And then you're trying to catch these types of moves. You don't always have to be right. You know, it's a balance also between being right. You know, you don't have to be right to catch these moves, but you want to put yourself in a position that you have a higher probability of catching those moves. You know, that way, like, let's say you get like a losing streak, you're down maybe 2 or 3 losses, that you can hold one of those trades because you know your trades run. You know there's a probability your trades are going to run. That's why it's really nice to always have images of your trades and journal your trades. So you see, that's why I always journal my trades. I look at them and say, oh, you know, this price moved beautifully up. You know, price look over here. Price action moves beautifully up. So it's like, man, this is a time that I should be in the market to potentially get runners. Correct? Because we can run. That's all that it is. Getting data. The more data that you have, the more confidence it is that you build. See, like right here, man, this is like whip central. So it faked out the sellers. Now it's like potentially faking out the buyers in there too. It might be looking to come down first and then move up later. Let me see these fundamentals here. We talked about it. Oh, it's got pushed down. We got new news. Gold futures. Gold futures slip but keep to 1-month highs. Gold futures soften as the US dollar recoups some losses, though they remain at 1-month highs. Investor volume in gold have picked up since the start of the week, with the precious metal emphatically breaking out of a tight trading range. It has held since early July. Yes, man, that range didn't make any sense, that range. Any US dollar rallies should remain capped as the August 1st US tariff implementation deadline approaches, and given central bank policy uncertainty due to the risk of an early shadow Federal Reserve Oh, okay. Okay, so we might have an early shadow Federal Reserve chair nominee. Yeah, I think that's going to give some real insights to where that policy is going to be heading. This should be a boon for gold. So you're gonna learn new words here. Like when you're reading these fundamentals, you're gonna learn new words. What is boon? Should be a boon for gold. Should be a bumbleclot. Bumbleclot! I think is what he meant to say. 1 minute is just crazy at the moment. Pulls down 1 seg. 1 second. Full moment. Cancelled. Yes. That's why it's like if you take a sell here and the moment you start to see a candle start to move upwards, that's probably going to be a fake out. Boon mean a thing that is helpful or beneficial. Good to know. Yeah, but we're moving up now. EU has been consolidating since yesterday coming into the day. I knew I had to be cautious. See, 4 hour pulling back on GJ. Reacting off 4 hour resistance here. See, hourly pullback. GJ is still bullish though, 0.11%. Surprisingly, GJ yesterday had some really nice moves. We got some sells here. Massive range on GJ. So it's like 47 pips. Eventually the whole thing got corrected. But it looks like price came in to retest the sellers again here once more before having a continuation. So back to that same market psychology. It's like, where were people most likely getting into the market? You know, most likely get into the market here by 199, 081 as we're breaking structure to the lows. The stop loss is above here. And then they had their initial push, small retracement. And then price came down towards that 65% zone. So draw the fib from here to here just by 65% zone, and then it came back upwards. Get the market participants out, the sellers from all the way up over here, before it starts creating new lower lows. So you tend to see these patterns happen quite a lot. Then you say like, oh, you know, the market is not as random as it might seem, you know, because a lot of the time y'all might be having these trades where it keeps taking you out before the moves play out. So you have to see with your strategy like what the probability of that's happening, you know. Like for me, this is something that I notice can happen quite a lot. You'll give you a nice initial push, and I think it happens to everybody. And then retest, and then continues to push down. So it's like, basically when you know that and you have a refined entry, what that means is that you can now investigate that issue and build a mechanical plan. Because for me, it's very easy to investigate this issue, right? So I can say, okay, you know, like maybe if I'm still really thinking that price can move in a certain direction, if I really believe in it, then I could give myself like an additional, let's say like, I don't know, 4 pips or 3 pips or something like that. You know, because I know this could potentially happen. Little spike up and then price will continue to move down. That's how I would look at this. But you have to have a mechanical plan. You have to have like some kind of standardized way of looking at the market. Otherwise, you know, it's just going to seem like random. But yeah, the 15-minute time frame here just closed above. Closed at a top wick though. No top wick over here. Gold is reversing. Yes, it's trying to reverse. It's trying to pull up again. Flipping trades here is like a pinball machine. Yes. It's like a pinball machine. So we got a 15-minute time frame just close. And this is a new hourly open as well. So hourly closes out a top wick. But really nice range on the hourly too. Like if it's going to correct this move, some of this move. Yeah, it looks quite decent. But I'm going to personally wait. You know, I would love to see price continue to come down. I would love to see price, like even if this hourly, if that was just a retracement for this hourly here to push down like this. And once price comes like somewhere around here, I'm going to be looking to execute. Because, you know, if that happens, then I'm going to get like some kind of directional bias. If that doesn't happen, then I think what gold is going to do is going to hover around between 0.20% and maybe like 0.35%, somewhere like something like this. Basically just these areas right here until pre-New York. And then that means there's no direction, correct? Then that will just mean also with the daily percentages that price is just moving sideways, waiting for the daily move. Because we still haven't yet had the daily move. You know, we just had Asia session come down a bit. And that's it. That's it. Nothing too crazy. See here, Discord. Nothing. $1,512. Another whip potentially. Me too. I'd love to see gold continue to come down. I'm selling from 33.94. Hey, welcome, welcome. Okay, Adventures. Welcome to the stream. I think you are new here. I'm selling from 33.94. Oh, you're already in a sell. 33.94. Man, where's your stop loss? You must be swing trading then. You probably have a pretty fat stop. Somewhere maybe around here. Probably have a big stop loss. Because that's already a pretty nice move. You know, you peaked at 100 pips. But man, when you're trading like this, you really have to be on the right side of the market. When you're taking a big swing like this, because you see where market is moving overall, right? Market is overall moving upwards. So you'd even feel better if that was inverted. Let's say if that was inverted like this. Because now you're moving in that direction at least. No, I put my stop to 33.99. Oh, that's a really nice move. You gotta secure something. I guess manage risk, stop loss to break even. Because I don't think like price should come all the way up over there. If price actually comes up towards like 33.94, I'd be expecting the highs to be met. Like Asia highs, as we're getting into that New York time. It could be easily gone to 33.93 soon. I would believe that more during different time. I would not expect London to start moving up, to be honest. Not yet. We'll see. It's still ping-ponging here anyway. Alright, nice. I guess that 15-minute shotgun is still in play right now. This could be the London Open fake out. Close below support. 3384. London Open fakey. Similar breakout of the no trade zone. I'm expecting the 3400 after resistance one more time. It's dancing below your SL. It's never a good sign. You got your SL right here. Probably above structure 3388. I would imagine this is where most people would have their stop loss, right? Because this is from the range that we're breaking into. Or at least this would be the first initial rounds of stop loss hunts. We'll be just above that structure right there. Yeah, just above the wicks. Yeah, it's testing you, man. It's gonna test you. The market is gonna test you. It's gonna test these levels. You know, of late, what I've seen like on gold is if you're gonna be wrong about the trade, it's not so forgiving. Every time it starts to push like this, it somehow always makes its way up towards these key levels of late. At least that's been the market characteristic that I've noticed. Is if you're right about the trade, you're right about the trade. But the moment it starts to come up and if it gets close like this, you know, sometimes it gives you an option that you can somehow, you know, still make it play out. But of late, it just keeps pushing. Especially I've noticed that on the sells. Like when you take a sell and then that buying pressure just keeps coming in. It keeps coming in. You're like, what the hell? Where are the sellers? You know, why are the sellers not coming in? It pushes down for a bit and then it pushes back up. Like this would be awesome, man. Like if we were trading bullish right now, I would take a buy as price breaks these highs, and I'll put my stop loss here about, you know, like 16.4 pips, expecting price to continue moving up bullish. But if we were trending, this would be such a nice move right here. Got beautiful little accumulation. That look very clean. Only if we're trending, even if we're trending bearish, you know, because right now we're not even trending bearish. Then I'll do something like this. Then I'll just plan for the sells. And then get that sell right there. That would also be a good sell. Higher time frames, not the cleanest. At least not the 5-minute. 15 looks good. 30-minute looks good. Clean candlestick bodies there. Hourly looks good. Yeah, that would be awesome. And also because it would be at the top of a range. You know, it's like if you think about this as a consolidation area over here. So it's at the top of the consolidation to retest the lows. You have a Telegram? Yeah, I do. But don't be on the Discord talking to these imposters. You know, you got a lot of imposters over here. Look at this guy. This guy posted 5 to 6 accounts sending same messages. You know, so don't fall for these imposters on Discord. See this? These are all fake accounts. Different types of structure people use for trading. Let's see, candle patterns and trends. You forgot to put TFX here, man. I see order block, support, resistance, ICT, smart money. Where's TFX? Let's look at this. Got ascending channel, rising wedge. You should put TFX here. TFX is gonna look the simplest out of all of these. It's just gonna be a chart. I don't know, finding an example over here. Gone trades taken. Gonna be a very simple chart, you know. Very simple chart. Very simple chart. Yeah, Goldie's still pushing up. Ooh, that 1 minute breaky here. Oh, that would be nice. Look at this. Look at the way it's breaking here. Only if we were trending. I wish we were trending though. At least for this time, I want to see a trend. But man, that would be a nice break. Now look at it go. Oh, beautiful. Keep running there, Goldie. Keep running. It's going for the wicks are here on the left hand side. Fly, Goldie, fly. Ooh, pulling back now. See, that's why I would want the daily to trend. Just to avoid certain things like this for this session. But that would be a nice little liquidity grab confluence though. We're just hovering at 0.27. Anyway, a nice liquidity grab confluence. If this was happening down over here for this session, that would be awesome. If we break these lows and then have a situation like this, because A will be out of this zone. Will be out of this zone, and price would a B pick the direction. Because right now we still haven't picked the direction. We're still within the overall range, correct? It's trying to break out. That's what it's trying to do, but it hasn't yet achieved that. Hopefully whoever sold earlier has booked some profits. Yeah, if you're trading the Asia session, even the pre-London was really nice. That pre-London time right here, there was a sell right here. It does seem like it wants to come back up to retest. Actually, if you wait, yeah, you see, look at again another example. There was a sell right here for pre-London console break, and then look at another example here. It came to retest that area one last time before the move happened again, before the continuation happened. See that the market loves to do this, guys, and that's why it's like you can start building a mechanical plan, but as long as you have a system that is that you can replicate. You gotta see this happen over and over again. I think this could have been like one entry, but if you miss this entry, sometimes what I like to do is I'll wait for, but this is a pretty nice push. But anyway, I would wait for, if I see something like this happen, I would wait for a re-entry at the break of the lows over here for a continuation. Because if it's moving up, you can avoid a potential wick, but if it re-breaks the lows, it could continue to move down. So that could have been a potential entry for me here as well. And then that would have come right here, retest again one last time before it continues to create new lower lows. So you gotta see, like, make your plan as mechanical as possible so you can see these little repetitive patterns like this, you know, so you can have a better chance of not playing the victim, you know, when price does that to you, that you can say, okay, you know, I planned for this an additional, let's say on gold here, 5 pips, you know, maybe an additional 5 pips for a situation like this. That's what gold is trying to do. All right, so it's still trying to break above. It looked like it would be a liquidity grab there for a second. 1 minute time frames are quite bipolar. All right, so now it's starting to break away. No swing entries to the upside though. Not seeing any clean ranges. Also the downside is not looking too good either. You got like level of support here and here. You have resistance here. You got resistance here. So we're gonna call this goat shit. You can call it. You're gonna call it goat shit. Could be extending the range a bit more as well. BTC down, gold up. Yeah, I think Bitcoin should be moving. See, Bitcoin here is it's consolidating. It's getting ready for a push though. It's still consolidating. It's doing the same thing like how GJ is doing, you know? Like GJ is also just consolidating. It's waiting for a push up to the next psychological mark. GJ is waiting to break 200. Bitcoin's trying to come up to like 130. It's ranging to get to 130, and gold, we're trying to head up here towards like 3,500. You know, but yesterday we targeted like 3,400. We got 3,400. Next daily resistance is here by, you know, 34.40. But I think what we're really wanting to do is go to 3,500. But this is like the first thing that we need to take here is that 3,400 mark. We need to start trading back above this area, which, you know, if we do that, we even have like pretty easy range to move up here on the left hand side. If we can just get about 34, pretty nice range. I feel like, man, if this candlestick reflips, we could easily see 33.40, 34.40. You could easily see 34.40. I think that's going to become the daily target by that resistance there. Most likely during the New York session is when price will start to try and make an effort to move up here. As Powell is speaking, you're going to see what he says. But for now, you know, we're in a goat shit. $3,500 is cool, but from 33.70. Well, you want price to come down first and then move up? You know, that's what I don't like to do. I don't like to speculate on the market direction. If I'm going to say, oh, it needs to come down here and then it moves up. I guess that's ideally what you'd want to see, but we're just going to take it based off of what candles are currently doing. Let's see what candles are currently doing. Then I guess you got to get like a better probability of where we're heading to next. Right now it's like flipping a coin, you know. But I do think with the news and so far what we did yesterday that we can at least keep moving up. That's what I want to see. I don't know about retracements. All I know is we can move up. I've already got a pretty solid bottom wick over there. Investor volumes in gold have picked up since the start of the week. With the precious metal... Oh, yeah, I think we read that one. Is it possible we have just given the previous hour a top wick to move down? Let's see. Hourly. Hourly candle is definitely... It's like trying to push up above hourly 8 SMA over here. You know, it's like the market can do whatever it wants to do, correct? Like it's only when you're about to execute that I guess you'd also want to really consider like everything is doing potential liquidity grabs and, you know, maybe like an hourly top wick to come down. But until then, like for me, this is just random. Like right now it looks bullish, but it could easily reflip and then start coming down here and then reflip back upwards again. It's the same price action like with if you look at what, for example, gold did yesterday, this hourly candlestick, for example, was bearish for like the whole hour. I think it was towards like maybe the last 5-10 minutes that it actually reflipped back up. So I think this hourly started like it flipped, created a top wick. It was bearish for the whole time and then it reflipped back up towards the end. You know, and that's what I mean. It's like, who gives a shit? Like, who gives a shit what the hourly candlestick is doing if you're not planning on actually executing? That's how you got like these zones. We got resistance over here, which also this resistance could be extended. It could be extended. It's just like price is closest to this resistance right now. Potential entry today. Chart kind of messy. I would love to see it move down though. I would still want to see a bearish gold. I would love to see gold move downtown. Nice little grab here on Bitcoin. Massive wick. Look at the size of this thing. Taking out these lows. Little liquidity grab here. Little accumulation. So you got accumulation, manipulation, back into the range. Then a small distribution to the upside. A little bit of an inverted head and shoulders right here. Another accumulation, manipulation. It's so funny how this is like the same thing as that. Like this massive accumulation here. Manipulation. And then same thing right here. That happened. It's also like, I don't know, this head and shoulders maybe is not looking the cleanest. But at least you got additional confluence here. Because you got candlestick bodies which came down. But this was just a wick. So you got inverted head and shoulders, accumulation. Because that's all that is, right? This is that V shape right here. This is like, that's just manipulation. But I think this is the true range that price was holding. And as it started to break above, stop below here or wherever. And then, you know, it distributed. This is nice, especially for the buy idea, because you see something like this happen, and then you also have this area over here to use as an additional confluence. You got one grab down over here, got another potential one here, inverted head and shoulders, estimate confluence. Man, this is a very nice trade. That's a really nice move. I like gold longs. You like gold longs? I think for me, gold longs on the 15 look kind of nice. You had like a shotgun entry here. I think someone in the Discord actually took that gold long risk free. This is gold spot. Pips catching. Yeah, like something like 15 minutes. This looked good on the 15. That'll look good on the 15. 15-minute candle close above resistance. And then rebreak of the previous highs to continue moving up bullish. That's the only thing for me I can say that maybe look good. But the lower time frames are like very, very sketchy. Very sketchy. If that hourly candle close above 33.92, then it's good. Oh, resistance? Yeah, 33.92. True. If we close above 33.92, we could potentially keep moving towards 3400. 3400 psychological mark. Asia session highs. Get that daily reflip. And continue moving up towards daily resistance. So even if you look at it from an hourly perspective, this starting to look like the London Open fakie right here then. Less candlesticks, less noise. Price came down, took out support. Because like people are looking for sells. When they get something like this, they're going to be looking for sells. Because of how beautiful that range actually looks to come down. And then you get the London Open fakie. But I still got hopes, man. Maybe like price can still do some grabs up here and then get some candlesticks just completely melt. You know, like the thing about the market is the environment can change so quickly. Look at this candle here. This is like 61 pips, right? Asia session. Imagine we get a candlestick like that. If we get just one candle like that, we're already down 0.38%. You know, stop breaking these lows and then it can take the next sells. I cannot remember who said it, but traders casa for backtesting is good. Oh, thank you. Traders casa. Let's see, traders casa. Oh, this is backtesting software here, like traders casa. Is it like, is this like TradingView also? It looks like, why is this on TradingView? Yeah, but I guess that's sick. I guess this is looking really nice. Total winners. Traders Casa. Should we start doing simulations on Traders Casa? Is it like simulation vibes? Oh, look at this. Oh, that's interesting. Vic, it's just $3 and you can do more than TradingView. How far back can you go on this though? Like if you want to do a backtesting. Can you go like, let's say 1 year back, for example? Oh, you're in 2015 now? Okay, nice. Traders Casa. Interesting. Maybe we can try it one time. Let me write a note. But they gotta get used to that software. Alright chat, so you know, like you could use this for backtesting. I think it looks clean, like the interface looks clean. I do like this style of showing you the days and you know how much money you made there. I think that's gonna be pretty nice. Oh, you know what'll be sick? If we can store the data, if we could save the data like this, and we can do like a simulation here, and then let's say close that off and then pick a different month and still have that data remain. You know, if we can still have that data remain, that would be interesting. I would probably do that on MT4 simulator as well, but you just have to save. Yeah, I use Trader Casa. It's good and free. Just that you will have ads for 1 minute in between. Say it's better than TradingView. It saves everything for you. Nice. But is it like real time as well? Because you know the simulator on MT4 you can't trade real time. So is Traders Casa like this way you just trade? You can also trade real time. Let's see. Free, unlimited backtesting, basic analysis. Or is it just a backtesting? That's my question. Is it just backtesting or you can actually trade real time? Big bi-weekly updates. How big can the next update really be? Big bi-weekly updates. Only backtest and journal? Oh, okay. This is what? $30 a month? $30 a month. Kind of expensive there, right? $30 a month. MT4 simulator is $100. $100 lifetime. Is there like a lifetime? But I guess, you know, you could use the basic. You can still go for free. Unlimited backtesting sessions, basic analytics, consistency tracker. Those are all nice things. Yeah, it was a Nightbots. Oh, you changed your name again. The Nightbots Nightmare Nemesis. Yeah, I think you can pay $3. You know, trading says he paid $3 to remove the ads, so you could probably do that too. Nightbot Nemesis. Got a little accumulation break here as well. This is looking good. Just need a bit more of a commitment because right now the 1 minute time frame is still creating higher lows, High low, high low, high low, high low, higher highs. It's still trying to push up. I would love to see this thing dump like 60 pips down here in the next minute. Yeah, I know you would. See the crown there, sir. Even if you change your name. Let's see where the Nightbot is. There's a Nightbot. Damn, Nightbot's at the bottom of the leaderboard today. I don't even see him on the leaderboard. Come on, Nightbot, you slacking. Let me give him a little bit of a nudge here. Yeah, there you go. Welcome back to the chat. Alright, so 1 minute's breaking below some console over there. We got SMAs tapping into 5-minute SMA. Some dynamic support. All I want to see is a commitment of 100%. Gordon Ramsay. I just want a commitment of 100%. Vic, I think it's slowly going to move up until Powell speaks to see if it will retest the ATH. Could be. Can we read up more on this? Let's see what Powell is due to do here today. Currently, there are no related stories. Due to deliver opening remarks at the integrated review of the capital framework for large banks conference hosted by the Federal Reserve. But I hope he does mention something about this Trump threatening to fire him. If he mentions something about it, that will really move the market. Let's see. Gold to the moon today. Gold pump incoming. Gold today, 34.50. All right, guys, look at what? 34.50. 34.50. Where's 34.50? You got 3400. He said 34.50? Yeah, I think 34.50 could be it. 34.50 is not bad. It's not a bad idea, you know, like price move up there, but I would be a little bit more humble. It's better to always under-analyze than over-analyze. So I would say like, you know, possibly like 34.40-ish. 34.40-ish. Yeah, I got some anticipation here from the Forex Factory. I think your Forex Factory is a really nice old school community of traders here. Trump firing Powell is something that doesn't even compute. Yes. Oh, nice. Your post was successfully submitted. Your comment is being reviewed. This comment is not yet visible to others. Submissions from new users are hand moderated. Oh, hand moderated. That's nice. If approved, this comment will be made visible. I hope my comment gets made visible here. I want to be part of this. Probably gonna leave some chart work here in the future. You should go on Reddit. I'm sure Reddit also has, like, that's one avenue I haven't yet really looked at too much, but I think Reddit, it'll be interesting to see what people are thinking there. Let's go here on calendar. We're gonna do from Tuesday to Friday. So we got Powell speaking tomorrow. We have nothing. Thursday we have flash manufacturing. Thursday unemployment claims on Thursday, and Friday nothing. So I would say like today and Thursday are the key days for fundamentals. You know, maybe that when you see price range during the London, you can say, okay, you know, potentially waiting for this. Either Powell speaking today or like on Thursday, we have some other news coming out. Unemployment claims. I'm surprised he's speaking today and not after unemployment claims. You know, like maybe you would have spoken on a Friday and then talk about these a bit more. I think it'll be a different topic. We'll see. Maybe he needs to mitigate this risk that's been going on. This feud. Like Trump is just picking a fight with everybody. Got into a feud with his buddy there, Elon Musk. Now he's picking a fight with a Powell. Who's next? Who's next? He's gonna come for the retail traders next. You're not paying enough commissions. This is gold dollar. Yeah, this one here looks really good. What time frame is this? Oh, this is trade casa. It looks like trading view. Oh, what's going on here? This trade casa. It looks like trading view. So they basically working together. Because then this would be like a copyright thing. All right, so this, yeah. Oh, okay, now I see it. I see the backtesting. All right, yeah, I see it now. This is the backtesting. Very clean, very nice, clean interface. Very nice, clean interface. Something I like about the MT5 interface, though. I like this sort of like older style. What did they say? MetaTrader was software designed for military purposes initially. That software, because you know how secure it is. So you can see something about this just looks like more rugged, you know? But it's not bad. It really is not bad. It gets the job done. It is not as smooth though. Yeah, that was a nice runner there towards the end. Man, it took me so long to get to backtesting, chat. Like, this software here, like, I would hear people talk about it all the time, but I would never do it, you know? It always seemed like so much admin, and I'm sure someone in the chat here is probably feeling the same way. Like, you feel like this is just so much admin, correct? But it is good. It is good. It does help you, especially on the weekends. But I get it. If you like it like more smoother and easier, like TradingView style, then Trade Casa is pretty nice. The thing with backtesting is, I don't know, I think it's very hard to get people to backtest. You know, as much as I wanted to learn how to trade, I also found it very difficult to sit down like this, set everything up, and then start backtesting. You know, that's the impression I get, like a lot of people probably feel. It's much easier to go on TradingView and just backtest a few weeks behind, huh? MT5 is a monster? Yes. It is a monster. Crazy to see like gold is still trying to push up here. Since that little shotgun entry from the lows. Quite a risky shotgun entry, but it's still moving up. Still filling this range towards like 33.91. But it's gradually doing it. It's like creating multiple support levels as it's moving up. We got one support, another support area here. Gradually creating support levels. So 1 minute. Okay, so that initial break here, that's still playing out. The stop below here. Maybe some reduced risk. Your TP almost hit. Meta looks more professional and makes you look like a hedge fund. Yeah, I agree. $3,400 is a target for today, guys. If we keep moving upwards, this is what we're looking at. It's about 100 pips away. Got like a small little 12 pip range here. Man, I believe gold is about to have a real bumbleclot today.
Bumbleclot!
Actually, you know, when I read that news yesterday, I thought today we would just keep moving up. Especially with Powell speaking. Maybe this is just a pricing in for the move up later. I was already expecting to come onto the charts and then see daily time frame already up like maybe 0.50+%. But I guess it did need some kind of a technical correction because these moves from yesterday were pretty huge. See how the fib is saying, I haven't even really tapped into the golden zone. Man, there's still room in there. There's still room for price to tap into it. But I guess it's reacting more off of the... is that a 3... Where's that level? It's called a 318. There's a level over here that I like to use with the Fibonacci, but I think it's on the standard fib. I think it's called the 3 something. The 30% level. Should be somewhere around here. $382. But it's not holding as, you know, usually at 382 level, it holds really nice when the market is very bullish. So it would actually would hold some around more like here. But this kind of dipped below it a bit more. Oh, we came pretty close to the golden zone area, that 50 mark. Guess my coordinates are a bit different. Yeah, but we already came pretty close to that 50 mark. So I think that, you know, the fib is a pretty nice tool just to measure out mechanically the retracements. Daily time frame still bearish though. We got negative 0.25%. Managed to sneak in a buy. Oh, you managed to sneak in a buy? Nice. It's like sneaking in snacks into the cinema before the movie starts. Because, you know, like price it's as much as it's moving upwards, the movie hasn't started yet. These are like the trailers. I'm watching trailers here. So they started to see some crazy volume come in. That's why I was kind of hoping maybe get like a 60 pip dump. Same dump we got during the Asia session. Just get a candlestick completely ripped down like this. And then you're going to look at it in hindsight and say, you know, that kind of makes sense because, you know, price is still moving bearish. But if it moves up, you know, then it's moving up, potentially giving a signal for what to expect for New York session. That NY can just keep moving up towards 3,400 if it keeps moving up now. But it would be nice to get a dump here. It will fall to 33.75. Yeah, I think the market saw this as an opportunity here because people are coming back from vacation now. So not Tuesday. This is very odd price action. This is the worst. Yeah, London has not been the best, but definitely today has been a lot more choppy, like a little bit more rigid here. Rough around the edges. So, hopefully it's going to break out soon. Because you see how it's distributing. Like, if you look at it from a buyer perspective, you got buyers over here, but it doesn't go in like completely smooth. It's kind of like choppy. Choppy profits. Profit is profit, but choppy profits. I like clean, fast profits. You can't copyright an economic graph, right? What you can do is you can watermark it. But I don't know about copyright. I know a bunch of people like, put analysis and they put like a watermark. Just imagine if Powell did not appear to speak due to the ongoing case. Gold 100% ATH. Yeah, we gotta see like what he's gonna say about these allegations against him. But I think as of right now, there's nothing like set in stone. But yeah, I feel like, man, Powell probably he might mention something today. He might mention something. Look at this, Trump right behind him like this. Just mean mugging Powell. I do anticipate that he will say something today. He will say something today about Mr. Trump here. Then price is gonna go up on gold. It's a really nice oil painting. Good job ongoing with Civic. Thank you, so yummy. So yummy. Yeah, the day Powell resigns, I must hold a runner on that day. I'm gonna hold the runner of runners on that day. Man, sometimes I look at these trades and I wonder I should just try and catch a crazy, absurdly bumbleclot trade. I mean, this moved like a 1 to 14 from yesterday. Somewhere like 1 to 14. 16. Just like an absurd trade. Let me see how much I can make. Maybe like a 1 to 10. No, that's not enough. Let's do... Ooh, 1 to 15. Without getting too greedy as well. Like a 1 to 15. Like 7,500 bucks. But man, seeing that profit come down, that would hurt, That would really hurt. Because you would really have to catch a trade like this that just keeps moving in profit and then trail the structure. Kind of like how we did in the simulation from last weekend on the last trade. Like we catch a trade, a very nice confluence trade. And then what we did basically is we were trailing the structure. Trailing. Problem with trading structure is eventually you run into like some kind of choppiness like this, and then that will get you out maybe shortly before hitting your targets. So best thing would just be like set and forget, you know, just set the position, completely forget about it, put your stop loss to break even, put your take profits, and at the end of the day, you're going to come and look at your phone. You're going to see what happened. I think that's the best thing to do when you're trying to catch like a crazy move like that. And then at the end of the day, it can be like a surprise for you. But man, going through the day thinking about that position and where it could be, ooh, man, that's going to mess with your psychology over there. Because you could already be up like a 1 to 10, still seeking that additional 5. But you must stay focused. Because you know the moment you look at it, you are going to close the trade. Powell about to liquidate everyone who is in on a trade when he gets fired. Yeah, I mean, like, even yesterday, man, yesterday I wanted to hold this trade. There was so much confidence for this trade to move up. Even in the video, I said, you know, I'm going to hold the trade. I'm going to hold the trade. Then I saw $1,000 and like, screw it, I'm taking this $1,000 here. Then missed out on the whole piece of the cake, you know. You're going to plan a lot of things, then you're going to see the monetary gains and you're going to take it. That's the thing. That's the trading psychology with big accounts as well. You start with a small account. You know, small account, you can easily hold your 1 to 5s, right? 1 to 5s and whatever it is. Man, that same 1 to 5 on a big account, you're not going to hold that trade. You're going to see at a 1 to 1, you could pay like, let's say 50% of your bills. You know, maybe even more, maybe like 80% of your bills. If you just take the 1 to 1, you are going to secure that 1 to 1 because that gives you more freedom to feel like, okay, you know, the bills have been paid. So now I can like trade a little bit more stress free. So you're going to see like it's a trend that the more money you make in trading, the less that you actually hold your positions, the more money that is that you make. Because, you know, at the end of the day, what you're trying to do is you're trying to pay your bills. You're trying to make trading real. Correct? So I think the goal of a trader has always been to trade more capital. Goal of a hedge fund, trade more capital. Goal of banks, get more capital. You know, it's all the numbers game. So the more numbers you have, the easier the game becomes. More commas that you can have. The more commas, the better it is. You should close 90% of the trade and leave it at BE. That's what I do. Then let's leave it like a small 10%. Yeah, I think so. But I feel like small 10%, you know, also works really good if you're trading a lot of capital too. That small 10%, maybe you're going to pay like some really nice bills. That small 10% runner. Making, you know, a few $100, maybe a few $1,000. Then, you know, 10% sounds really nice. But obviously, you tell that to someone with a small account, 10%, it's not gonna sound as nice, you know. But I think a good area to close partial is maybe somewhere like 70, around maybe 70%. So when you have like a 30%, at least 30%, it doesn't feel like nothing. It still feels like something that can potentially just keep running and stacking on. It's like psychology. Trading is more about the capital, yes. Yeah, it is. It's not about the pips, you know. Sometimes people say, oh, you know, this is such a small pips. Such a small pips, so that's such a small risk to reward. But it's coming from a psychology of where you currently are at right now. And you know, like, whatever gets you to this level is not going to get you to this level. So you're always going to have to always adapt and change. You know, you change your thought process towards things. Always, just like in trading, like in other things in life, you're always going to level up. The more you level up, you know, you're going to have to leave old habits behind. Old habits as you start to get better. A lot of big players scalp. Points big size. Want to leech, but don't hit like. Yeah, guys, make sure you smash the like button. Don't be a leech. Don't be a lemming. Don't be a lemon. But I'm seeing the channel's creating like some progress. I do appreciate the likes you guys are leaving though. because we're slowly getting out of the gulag again from deleting all videos. We are slowly getting out. You know, if I had to start YouTube from scratch, I could start it again. I could start it all over again. Just the same way, if I had to start trading from scratch, I could start it all over again. And then, you know, build myself back up. You know, that's the important thing about having a skill, because nobody can take the skill away from you. Correct? You can lose everything and still rebuild it back up. It's just the same way as, you know, if you're working a 9-to-5 job and you're scared to like pursue that business idea, take the risk, because worst case scenario, you're in like software engineering, or, you know, you create apps, whatever it is that you do for your job. You could always go back. You can always go back and do what you did, because you have the skill, correct? Like, you're going to be sought after because you have the skill. That gives you like a bit more confidence that you can take other risks for now. You know, you got to see people leave their 6-figure jobs to take risks on themselves because they understand that you can always go back. You know, it's a confidence thing. You have to have confidence in yourself, and also a plan. You know, if you can have some emergency funds, start a business. You see, it's all psychology. It's all psychology, and those things are going to reflect in trading as well. You know, it's like, it's literally being an entrepreneur. So you have to treat trading like any other business. You know, so you being an entrepreneur, get your data correct, and then you're gonna be able to, you know, pursue that a bit more efficiently. It's just the same idea. Trading is no different than owning a business, and there's so much to think about. You know, every day, every month. You know, how was your quarter? How was your month? What could have been improved? What can you know, get rid of? You know, certain bad habits maybe that you have that you can get rid of. So you have to audit your thinking almost on a daily basis. That's what a good entrepreneur, a good business person does. Their mind is always racing. You know, they're always thinking like about what can be improved, or like that sort of thing. Yeah, good business people, they're very disturbed. I feel like they cannot enjoy the small things. Like, man, even sometimes watching a TV show is so hard. It's so hard because you're just thinking about what you can do better. Words of wisdom, such gold nuggets, appreciate it. On the 4-hour sells look imminent, but are we going to trade the trend line down? What's your opinion? Oh, trend line down? Yes, I'm waiting for price to move down right now. Because right now, we got 1 hour until pre-New York. If price doesn't move down in this next hourly, then I think for the day, maybe we might just start moving upwards towards like, you know, 3,400 at that point. Yeah, so I think that's what you gotta be. You gotta be very disturbed. If you want to be a good businessman, you gotta be very disturbed. I think out of my group of friends, I'm definitely one of the most people who are always thinking of the bigger picture. And you know, the other day I saw one of my friends from uni like go for these workshops, you know, these like entrepreneurial workshops, and I'm like, man, you're not gonna find your answers at a seminar like that, teaching you about like how to, you know, that thing is intrinsic, man. Being an entrepreneur, being business oriented, that's intrinsic. That's inside your nature. Being able to wake up every day, stay consistent, stay organized, build a plan for yourself. Like, nobody's gonna teach you that. You know, there's some things that you just can't teach people. You have to come, like, for example, trading, right? You have to come onto the charts. You have to look at the candlesticks move like every single day. And then you start building that psychology. And you just slowly, every day, slowly getting better. It's a huge difference than saying, oh, you know, we got a seminar here next week, so I'm gonna wait for that seminar. You know, so like every day for you should be a seminar. And the markets are gonna be your teacher. Yeah, I think that's what it is. You're gonna see a lot of successful businessmen. They don't necessarily find their success in these like seminars. It's intrinsic, but you can go to them to get like, you know, networking. I think a good networking purposes and that sort of thing later on. But yeah, the groundwork, man, the groundwork is the hardest part. Building that foundation. You know, but once you build a solid foundation, then it's much easier to build upon it. Then the rest of it is just like extra, you know. But I think in trading, the most important thing in the foundation is obviously like patience. It's the same thing as in business as well. It's just being patient, being okay with not seeing results for some time. You know, just the same thing as, you know, all these YouTubers that you watch, these famous YouTubers, man, they go years. Some people like take 3 years, 4 years before they even see 1,000 views on their video. Now, can you do that? Can you go 3 to 4 years? Just like honest conversation with yourself. Can you go 3 to 4 years without seeing even 1,000 views on your videos? For example, if you want to be a content creator. Same way as, can you go 3 to 4 years without being profitable in the market and be okay with that? You know, if you can't do that, then you need to go and work a 9 to 5. You need to focus on your skills, the skill set you have now, and build upon that. Because like most businesses are coming into business not expecting to make money for the first couple of years, you know? So if you have that mentality of like, you're okay to be patient, then I think it's going to work out for you. And who knows, maybe it works out faster. Maybe it works out in the first year. Maybe it works out, you know, 6 months in. It doesn't have to take you 3 to 4 years. But you already have to be okay with waiting that long. You know, you have to be okay. But it could happen. It could happen earlier if you're playing your cards right. If you're smart and you're diligent and you're putting in the work and you're really focusing on what other people are doing who are successful, it could happen earlier. You know, it just depends on how much effort that you want to put in. So yeah, I think audit your thinking. Don't trade my words. Let's look. There is def sell power close. I feel it as well. Like if we can just dump, we just need one candlestick to dump. One candle. Really, really nice dump. I think it's good to have goals. I think it's really good to have goals. Because you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. So set yourself goals, but what's going to determine you achieving those goals is going to be your habits. So, you know, the thing about trading is you feel like maybe you're not good enough, that you're taking a lot of back-to-back losses, but you're rising too much to the level of your goals. You're comparing way too much up here, then focusing where you currently are down here. And then having those small daily successes. I was patient. 3 hours on the chart, no trade. You know, I was able to not take a trade for being on the chart for 3 hours. You know, that's a win. That's already a win. You didn't see your setup. You didn't take the trade. That's a win. You know, that's the progress that you don't see because you're focusing too much on the goal. You're focusing too much on your terminal. The reds on your terminal or the blues on your terminal. But these other things, these are also wins. Managing your risk. Today, I lost less. If I was planning on risking 1% and I lost, let's say, half of that, you know, that's also a win. Like even smaller things like that, like journaling your trade. Today, I took 1 or 2 trades and I journaled my trade before after picture. Small little win. You know, and make those wins like manageable as well. Because if you stick to like one, 2 trades, it's easier to journal 1 or 2 trades. You know, by the time you get in third trade, it's less enjoyable to be journaling from third trade and above. So you're not even going to care that much about it. You know, you're just going to do it because you set a task for yourself to do. But, you know, you want to do it in a way that you're really refining your edge. Hello, buddy. After a long time. Hey, what's up, Ragnar? A lot of volume in that candle. There's this nice little accumulation over here. We got like resistance, we got support. Yeah. Refine. What an awful London session, by the way. Yes. Goat shit. So I'm like looking. This is a quite interesting consolidation here, though. It's a very nice consolidation. I just wish we were trending more bearish because, you know, like price right now is creating new higher highs. New higher high, higher high. It's like slowly building upwards. But if we're still moving down, this would be such a nice little console break. We're getting some like volume to the downside. I have a few rejection wicks. Jeez. Damn, Goldie. Need to give Goldie a whip. Just gonna play some FIFA while waiting. What's GJ doing? Yeah, GJ moves a little bit better though. GJ's a little bit more swinging here nicely. See from the London Open, swing down, swing up. Oh, beautiful little shotgun here. Candlestick closed without a top wick though. Kind of sketchy. A nice little closure above that resistance here on the left hand side. And price came up towards this next point. So see how this is? Like really nice shotgun here. Candlestick broke the previous highs, stop loss below the other one, below the current. It's like 6.7 pips, really tight pips on GJ. Range here was about, you know, like 16.5 pips. So, you know, like this is the exact same idea to the move that I took yesterday. And I think that just looked really clean. Really clean. Oh, you can't see the range though. But yeah, it's the same exact idea for that move. Boom. Look at that. Profit taking. So you can see the psychology of the market. Notice how the market breaks these areas and then profit taking. You know, so this is a concept that, you know, if you stick to this concept, you're going to see it more often. But obviously, if you don't, then you're going to look at the market from a completely different perspective, right? For me, this makes the most sense. Like if you're thinking about psychology of humans, traders, rather, let me say, positions in, positions out. Buyers make money, sellers make money. And now the greedy ones, they get slaughtered. Here, you see you got another break over here. Actually, nice little range from here to here too. That's about like 18 pips. Yeah, but I love to see this. When you get those perfect reactions. And you also got a few more confluences here too. Got like a little V-shaped reversal, a little bit of liquidity grab situation here. Break above the SMAs. Confluence. Candlestick highs. Nice. Only if that candle here had a top wick, that would be perfect. Looks like close without it. A little inverted head and shoulders in there as well. Nice little accumulation break to the downside too. Right here. A little bit of accumulation breakout. Boom, boom. A little bit of a retracement up. You see, it's like it did the same thing again. Remember, chat? Like we've been literally mentioning this the whole time on stream. We've been mentioning how price, if you're paying attention, how price always retests. It always retests that area before it creates a new lower low. For example, if you're in a sell. Look at this. You see what I mean? When you have a mechanical plan, you can see those things more. You can see those things more and you can like build yourself something to avoid. Because look, if you take a sell here, maybe on the broker, that would have like, you know, potentially tapped you out. And then you say, you know, just give myself an additional 4 or 5 pips, depending on the instrument that you're trading. 5 pips on GJ is quite a lot. Because the candlesticks are not that big. So you see what I mean? Like come back, boom, boom, retested your entry, and then look at this. Like clockwork. So that's how you want your strategy to be falling into place, when you can start refining it and start seeing things like that happen over and over again. I think that's just how you get a little bit better. Alright, so it looks like Goldie's still trying to break above here. Heck, we might actually just be moving up. We might be moving up towards like 3,400. Got about 50 minutes before the pre-NY session starts. We might be moving up. If we don't, if we just move up on this hourly, if we just keep pushing there, could be heading towards 3,400. Got that nice little hourly SMA, 8 SMA, holding price right there. Beautiful kiss of death on the 30. Yeah, but I'm still hopeful. I'm so hopeful to see a big candlestick just dump. Gold is breaking the zone. Yes. Yeah, it's trying to break the zone there. Trying to break the zone. Gold prices dive under 3,400. Markets eye central bank moves. Trade negotiations in crunch time. Ooh, I like this. Crunch time because, you know, we only have one more week. Or let's say 1 week and 3 more days until August 1st tariffs come in. Gold traders get antsy. That's what it feels like too. Alright, so let's see. Gold prices jumped to 3,400 on Tuesday. Its highest in over a month. Before pairing gains to trade around 3,380 per ounce. Still, the move was not enough to bring back bullish appetite as gold bugs juggle a weaker dollar, lower yields, and rising global tensions. Traders are eyeing the August 1st tariff deadline with Trump threatening 30% blanket duty on European imports if a deal isn't reached. See, as risk ramps, safe haven bids return. Bullion's bounce may not be a once-off, especially with macro fireworks queued up through next week. Ooh, I like this. Macro fireworks queued up through next week. This is exactly what we want to hear. Powell, ECB, and chessboard. Let's see. Oh, this... Alright, so let's see. What's next for the bullion? Gold bulls are cautiously optimistic. The recent breakout puts 3,400 back in play. And a close above that level could open the door to a new highs. Man, this is lining up with exactly our analysis as well. Especially if trade tensions worsen or Powell blinks. So yeah, this is like, you know, with Powell is in so much heat right now that I guess what they mean is, if, you know, sometimes what happens is people really analyze these things. They analyze, you know, vocal frequencies and that sort of thing. Like, see what Powell says, how he says it. Does it sound confident? You know, is he hiding something? So it goes quite deep. But there's still plenty of two-way risks. A hawkish Powell, progress on tariffs, or a bounce in the greenback could easily knock gold back into consolidation mode. Oh no. No, we don't want that. We don't want consolidation mode. Let's see. Gbpjpy, I think I have to block you now. Because you're spamming the chat too much. I've been telling you since yesterday, stop spamming the chat. So tell you stop spamming the chat. I don't know why you're spamming this in my chat. Doesn't even make sense. You know, the problem is the chat doesn't move fast. You know, if the chat was moving fast, then you can spam that dumb shit and no one will see it. But right now it's not moving fast, so, you know, I'm gonna have to hide you. Maybe in the future you can get away with that stupid stuff, but for right now, you're not gonna get away with it. It looks really ugly, man. He is praying for his trade to work out. He keeps spamming this thing, like even yesterday. Yeah, maybe because I'm very particular about things. So for me, when I see it, it kind of messes. It kind of looks weird. Can't give him the hammer though, because this is not Discord. Let's see, value of disappointment. We should not expect progress to be linear and too fast to avoid creating the value of disappointment where early efforts seem fruitless. Oh, nice. Yeah, this is like what we were talking about earlier. Expected progress, actual progress, value of disappointment. There's a quote for the day. We should not expect progress to be linear and too fast to avoid creating the valley of disappointment where early efforts seem fruitless. See, time, effort, progress. Yeah, so the more time, you can see with this graph over here, the more time you put in, look at this, the progress then becomes exponential. Like the growth becomes exponential. It's true, in the beginning, maybe it seems like you're not making any progress. And then the more you keep being consistent, what this is basically, it's also like a momentum graph. So, you know, the more you're consistent, it's like building that momentum. I think momentum and consistency is more important than having like, you know, a bunch of effort, let's say, put in here and then have the graph come down here for a while. Like that. And then consolidate, then you put in effort and then you see it's like different because you're not building momentum. It's just every now and then you get a bit of motivation. You know, every now and then you get some motivation and then you go back to 90% of the time consolidation and making no progress. Because if you think about even working out in a whole year, if you're just working out one time, you're getting like motivation once a month. For the majority part, you're consolidating. Even if you get motivation the next month, you're not going to be making any gains. You'll just keep coming and falling back down to your habits. You're going to fall to the level of your habits. You will not rise to your goals. You will fall back down to the level of your habits. Because this is what you're doing like 95+% of the time, you know? So this is what it is. Closed it. Oh, nice. Gotta wear the bias. Awesome. See, finally the candlestick's pushing down. You see, this is what I thought we could be getting here. Like some 5-minute candlestick just dumped like 60 pips. Come all the way back down over here. So it looks like a little console break here. Finally, price is starting to hopefully pick that direction. I would ban them. I was in another live trader late last Friday and someone called gold with Julia, kept spamming, went to another live and they were spamming there too. Yeah, but this candlestick here pushed down, what is this, like 20, 25 pips. Nice little movement. At least market's trying to waking up a bit. Slowly but surely. Dump it. If you want something you've never had, you must be willing to do something you've never done. Thomas Jefferson. All right, Goldie. It does look like a continuation, potential continuation on the Owly, because Owly is still creating new lower lows, pulling back up. So that like lower highs being formed. Lower highs, rebreak of the lows here. We got about 170 pips, but I don't think, and we gotta wait and see. But this is not gonna make a move. Like this is the target that we're looking at here. If it moves for sells, but we're definitely not gonna make such a drastic move until Powell comes on. Nice little break and retest situation happened here. Break, retest, push downwards. That's a strong retracement though. This is definitely like within that 70 zone on the fib. Let's see, that's 86, 786. Yeah, 786 here. Pretty strong retracement. Sui. Sadly I went and the channel had over 800 people watching live. It was basically an MT4 screen with a video overlay of an AI created pretty girl on repeat, but the channel had no interaction. Yeah, no, definitely like that's what do you call it? View botting. Like fake viewers. Especially if the chat is not moving and you have like 800 people, it doesn't make any sense. AI models went crazy too this year. Yeah, it's quite funny. They always got the kind of a Russian accent, or you know, maybe they're from Poland or somewhere like that. Like Russian or Polish. I've seen that too. I've seen that too because there's this one thumbnail that I made a while back. Let me see, live forex trading, and then everybody started using this thumbnail. It's like, let me see if I can even find one here. So I type live forex trading. Let's see if we can find it. I don't know if we're gonna find it here. But anyway, whatever. No. It's like, it's a good thing. Like YouTube for me is like how you know, an NBA player or a boxer can watch other fighters and learn from other fighters. That's what I utilize YouTube live streams for, is like also sometimes understanding how different players like see the market and that sort of thing, see where their edges may be, how they deal with certain things. I feel like it's quite educational. It's always good to try to get to the next level. I think for a trader to close themselves off and think that they know it all is the fastest way to destruction. You know, it's like with any business as well. If you close yourself off and you don't listen to people and what other people's opinions are and that sort of thing, then you can, you know, not improve. Very difficult for you to improve. That's why I wanted like these major corporations. Sometimes like there's certain things that could do that they don't do, and it gives you the feeling that they don't listen to people, but they say, like, for example, okay, you know, where Apple is a big company, so you know Apple is gonna tell you what you want. You're not gonna tell Apple what you want. We're gonna tell. Then that's literally what Steve Jobs used to say. Like Steve Jobs used to say, the customer doesn't know what they want until I know what they until I give them what I know what they want. If that makes sense. Like Steve Jobs is actually quite cooked. He's quite cooked, man. He was a guy to yell at people in the office. You know, you put you on the spot. But, you know, sometimes you got to be that guy. You got to be a leader sometimes, but, you know, it is what it is. And it's always good. Anyway, the point is, audit your thinking. Always audit your thinking. Don't think that you know it all. Because the moment that you think that you know it all is when the losses are going to come in. Like, let's say if you're on a win streak, the moment you think you know it all and you're progressing so nicely, that's when a huge loss is around the corner. You know, so you just got to be careful. But anyway, this is exactly what I want to see. This is what I want to see. Like candlesticks come down, break below like 33.83, start getting this so bearish continuation will be nice. Let me see here on the 30-minute. Yeah, I think that would be awesome. Can this 30-minute move? Maybe the next 30-minute. Yeah, maybe we can get out in the next 30 minutes. Stop pushing down like this. Next 30 minute. Ooh, that's such a nice push here already. Also, nice little fake out confluence here at the top too. Grabbing orders, rebreak the lows, coming downtown. Nice. Daily time frame is down 0.34%. Perfect. That was one of the cleanest distributions we've seen so far since the London session opened. Of this little accumulation here to the downside. The one over here was like a consolidation manipulation. They're very choppy. They're very choppy. This is the cleanest swing now. Just need to keep going. Oh man, please go to, what's that? 3384.18. 3384.18, somewhere around here. Oh, so close. This is the worst thing. This is a nightmare for you now because it's created like a support little tweezer bottom here. And you can just like start reversing. And it was about how many more pips? Like 5 more pips. I told you, make it 5 more pips unperfect because it's too perfect. But I guess here on gold, even 5 pips would have just about done it. But if you're using a buy limit, then that would not trigger. You just gotta wait. You know the worst thing is there's a strategy I used to play like this, but I would never know when it's still valid. Cause like it could come very close like this, and then like let's say it has the move that I want to see. Then I used to question myself whether then it makes sense if it's still valid it comes and then does that. If it doesn't trigger me in where I wanted to trigger. I think that's the issue with that strat. It like sometimes creates that psychological second guessing, you know? So imagine if this were your targets up here and then price already hit your targets. And then it starts coming down as well. Maybe it starts coming down like gradually. And it looks more like it can go through. Alright, catch you later, doctor. You got like freaking 5 more pips here. For me, it's not valid. You need a clean move down because if price trickles down, it's just going to keep going. Yeah, exactly. So you mean like this has to be all red candles, basically. Red candles down into this level. What if it's just one tiny... You know, what if the market gives you a variable? Let's say it's just like all red candles, but one tiny bullish doji. Right here, like so tiny, you know, a small one like this. Just a really small one. Is it still valid then? That's okay. Does a width... Okay, what if it's... But this is a doji. What if it's like a width like this? Is that still okay? You know, there's always these small variables that the market sometimes does there. You gotta like second guess. You know, because you said this was not... This is like not valid anymore, correct? So this would be too much. This will be just a tad bit too much, huh? Too much volume. That's about like 0.8 pips. Compared to something... Yeah, those are usually the hardest moves. Like if you're very particular about your system. So you gotta see the difference between this and this. And does that even really make a difference? You know, if you really think about it. Is there much of a difference here? But you know, that's the worst thing. I would say that's the only thing about having mechanical plans is when the market throws you a curveball like that. And you've been waiting and you think it's such a nice move and then you get something random like that happen. There's the same thing like, for example, in GJ, right? You look at this and you think to yourself, oh man, you know, this looks really good as a shotgun play. But the candlestick did not have a top wick. So what are you going to do now? You've been waiting for so long for this move. Let's say daily time frame is bullish. Everything is moving bullish. So you got to find a balance between following and bending your rules based off like the different market environments that you're in, or like how good the setup looks like to you. And then not play the victim if it doesn't play out. Because if it doesn't play out, you're probably going to say something like, oh man, I should have waited for the candle to have a wick. Looks like it's creating the top wick to continue down. Got about like 27 minutes here. If that Auli can keep pushing for me, I think that'll be good. Like Auli just pushed below support. See a 30-minute. Oh, 30-minute top wick. Top wick to move down. Broke below our SMAs. Trading below that what is this? 8 SMA? Yeah, real break and retest on that 8 SMA. Reflip. Try get through the support. Yeah, 4-hour reaction here. 4 hours gonna be reflipping too. Because I think like the 4-hour can still move. The 4-hour can still move. The hourly might look a bit overextended. But if you consider the 4-hour, then price can still push. Because check the size of this previous hourly here. This was about like 111 pips. So we could expect something like this. Because what I really want to see happen is for price to break below support here. And then look for my entry. That price can continue moving down. And the hourly can push. And then next hourly can open up. Next hourly should be open up like, 30 minutes roughly. And then continue to push down on the 4-hour. But I think that 4-hour flip that we're just about to have and the re-break of the 4-hour lows could be something like people are really waiting for. So that would be the break. Oh, the 4 hours just about flipped. I think it already flipped once. 4 hour already flipped once. There's a little pullback here. Candlestick reflip, break of the lows. Then volume is going to come in. Volume is going to come in to correct some of this. Yeah, let's get the reflip. I also look at the hourly candle here. I mean, 4 hour. It's 25 minutes for it to close. So, you know, it makes sense. Like towards the end of the candlestick closing that we're actually getting some kind of move. Let's see. Did it retest the sellers? Yeah, I think it retested them here already. So got a small little break and a retest here by 33.88. Broke, came back, retested, and then moved down. Break, retest, push down, bearish. I think on different broker, 4 hours already probably closed. You can look at, see, Owanda 4 hour close bearish. Getting a small wick fill there already. Did I mean a touch of death? I got 30 minute 30-minute. 30-minute kiss of death. Are you gonna take a trade? I've been waiting, G. Any minute now. Yeah, I think you gotta take a trade. You gotta see, like, if you want to take a trade, you can take a trade here. I wanted to see price come down a bit more. You know, it's so funny. Like, people ask me, okay, so if I take 1 or 2 trades a day, what do I do after? You know, what do you mean? What do you do after? You just do whatever you want to do after. You know, go touch some grass, maybe read a book, go do something else. You know, don't trade. What do you mean? What do I do after? That's it. 1 or 2 trades and that's it. It's been 3 hours. The fella hasn't done anything. Yeah, that's my job. My job is to not do anything. Your job is to waffle and my job is to not do anything. You know, if you want to do something, then maybe you could go and find a job where you get paid by the hour and then you can like put that energy to good use. But if you want to put that energy to use here in the market's going to humble you. It's going to say, A, more trades, more losses. Are you sure? Because I can get my P&L. It's 10 times more than yours. All right. All right, then. I invite you to the stream, IB. I invite you to the stream. And let's see how great your 10x P&L is when people are watching. When people are watching, I don't think it's going to be 10x. I think it's going to be something else. So, you know, like anybody can say something. You know, if you don't send in analysis over here, if you don't send in, like, you know, that sort of thing, then, you know, who knows? Who knows what's going on there? But why are you waiting for me to take a trade? If your stats are 10x better than mine, what are you even doing on this stream? I'm like, I must be a peasant to you. I'm a peasant to you, sir. Why watch this stream if you're such a good trader? You know, like, why are you waiting for me to take a trade? If you're so good at taking trades, why wait for me to take a trade? Also, that doesn't make any sense. Mr. Waffler. You gotta start up a waffle company there. And trading isn't a competition either. I give 2 shits what you make. You know, I give 2 shits what you do. Because at the end of the day, there's always someone better than you. You know, if you live life trying to be better than somebody else, there's always somebody better than you and you're always going to get humbled, you know. I always say, like, put me in a room where I'm not the smartest person. I don't like being the smartest person. You know, I don't like being the smartest person. Why are you the smartest person in the room? You gotta ask yourself that question, right? Elon Musk is pretty smart, but he's not the smartest person in his factories. He has scientists developing those rockets for him. You know, he has smarter people than him working on his company to make it what it is. So if you're gonna have an ego in trading, you're gonna get humbled. If you're gonna get an ego in life, you're gonna get humbled. So I think the best thing for you to do is just remain calm when things are going good. You know, because it looks like things are going good for you right now. Just be calm about that. Be humble about that. You know, because that could shift at any moment, man. You don't fly too close to the sun, you're gonna get burned. That's why you gotta take things slow, man. Especially in trading. The moment that you get ego in trading is the moment that you lose everything. You know, you gotta leave your ego at the door. But you see now price consolidating here. It'll also be nice to see it break below 33.83 and then continue to come down. That's what I've been waiting for, but it's kind of like hesitating. It's been hesitating for a minute now. We're just hovering around the 0.30% mark. Just forgive him, Vic. I got rage baited. You are forgiven, sir. You know, my bank account doesn't know the difference between ego and anything else. It only knows consistency. What is consistently going in and what is consistently going out. Money has no emotion. You think money cares that you've been waiting here for 3 hours, that you deserve it? It has no emotion. So you also must have no emotion towards it. See, at the end of the year. Dun, dun, dun. Alright. If it was to set up a swing now to buy, what do you think? Yeah, I think a swing now to buy would actually, because it's already heading to this pre-New York time and we're not trending yet. So it's still got about like 20 minutes. Because it could not decide to move past this point. It could end up holding this point. It could hold this point up towards like New York time. So that's what I'm thinking. Like if it hasn't moved yet, then it's probably just gonna hold. See, hourly's about to close. Got like 60 minutes for the hourly closure. Goldie's stuck in the gulag. What is this hug thing? Yeah, you guys think I'm mean, huh? You guys think I'm mean. Just wait till you see how mean the market is. You know, even if it didn't mean it in a bad way, you know, it's still good that I said it, you know? Because, you know, it's still important. It's still important to always remember that. Nonetheless, I'm not mean. Man, the market is very mean. Market is very mean. I'm nicer than the market. Yeah, it's pushing up here. Little accumulation break. Possible retracement to the upside. Really nothing too appetizing here today. I was kind of hoping to see a trending market environment. 4 hour also closing. Yeah, 4 hour closing here in about 14 minutes. The question is like, how are we gonna close? We're gonna create a support. If we create a support and the next 4 hours starts to break like this, man, this is gonna be like more chance to get a dump downwards before Powell comes on. We could get a rebreak of these lows on the next 4 hour. It could have just been doing that. This whole time, the hourly could have just wanted to hold this range to create a support as well. So it creates a support here. And then for a continuation. Just like how the previous 4 hour did, like it kind of like held this general area over here. Maybe that's why we're getting very choppy conditions too. On the lower time frames within this zone. I do this hug thing all the time. It's so fun at work. If people kick off, I'll walk in like, everybody, let's hug. Bro, the streaming rage bait is something else, bro. It's something else. I was measuring it out and did not realize how small the candles are considering. Yeah, stream rage bait is like a speed. If you watch I show speed, man, that guy has a funniest freaking stream rage bait. Got like what, 36 pips here. Cringe alert. Yeah, guys. But anyway, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna head out here, guys. Did not get what I wanted to see here on price today, so it seems like we're holding the range. It seems like we're not gonna be trending farther down. And we're just gonna bounce between these two areas over here. So this might just be the map to trade. It seems like if I want to get a trade before before NY opens, then most likely we'll have to be in this area, it seems. Looks like London session did exactly what I thought it would be doing, which is consolidate again once more. You know, quite surprising, or rather not surprising, that London has not decided to go anywhere. And it's just hold the range again. Now it's going to be waiting for this pre-New York, New York open, then it's going to have its move. Just like clockwork, basically what it's been doing the whole time. But yeah, I've been on the charts for quite a minute now. I think I'm going to go take a break and then see what the market does in a bit. I hope you guys enjoy the stream. No hard feelings, You know, we're just giving some advice here as well. Don't take it personally. And I will catch you all in the next one. Adios.